Scratch babble.
Okay, false alarm. False alarm. Okay. House keys. Need house keys. Where are my house keys? Gotta have house keys. Don't have house keys. House keys. Awesome. La 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 la. House keys. Alright, awesome. Damn it, door. Okay, here we go. Take 12. You know, one of the great things about not having any subscribers is when you don't put out anything for a while, nobody notices. I think I'm at 6 subscribers. So here's the deal. That is my bike. That is the bike that I purchased. I'm about 3 weeks into it. It's a 2015 KLR 650. Got a great deal on it. It's my first bike. And it's my 1-year riding anniversary. And it's not a Harley. And there's probably some questions by the 2 of you who do watch these. And maybe not. I don't know. We're going to go take a ride. And I'll explain some things. Hello. A little over a year ago, a buddy of mine sends me a gift for Christmas, surprises me with MSF classes. I go. Get the MSF class, but I still know I'm probably about a year off from getting my a bike. Crappy credit, long story, but that'll be 7 other stories for another day. So, I work in radio, and in talking about my obsession on radio, I was overheard by the local Harley dealership. And I said, hey, we heard about your dream, let's get together. I said, all right. So that led to a almost a year-long relationship with the local Harley dealership, Emerald Coast Harley Davidson, and a guy there named Gus. I ended up going through their riding academy, which was their inaugural riding academy, because they're the new owners of this dealer. Owning it just over a year now. So I got to go through the first class and then talk about it on the air. Got to give away riding scholarships, for lack of a better term, on the air. And it was awesome. I started out on a Street 750, which is the 750 version of what you take in class. Then I went to the Sportster 72, which is this really cool chopper, 1200 Harley, awesome thing, fun, cool looking. And I had never wanted to ride a Harley. That's the bike. When I got on the Sportster, I went, oh. Then from there, I went to a Dyna Switchback, which was like they call it the 3/4 Road King, which I loved. And then at the end of the year, January 1, our contract came to an end. So I was back into starting my bike fund, saving up for my bike. So it's January, it's February, I don't have a bike, I got a bike fund, saving very, very slowly. Figuring maybe by October, November, I'll have a chance to buy a bike. Simultaneously, I was working on repairing my credit. Recession, divorce, stupidity, number of things came together to give me a credit rating that was in negative digits. So, it's now February. Literally days after my 60th birthday. And I'm laying there in bed, my wife and I watch TV on a Sunday, and a buddy of mine, the buddy who rekindled my fire to want to ride finally, he's posting pictures about riding. He's up in Atlanta. Yes, 1200 GS. Terrence, A. Terrence. And I'm like, damn. So I start doing a little looking online. And I started looking at KLR 650s. Now you got to understand, I've been looking at KLR 650s for a long time, because what relit my desire to ride was watching Long Way Around, and I wanted an adventure bike. That was my dream. Anyway, so I'm laying there in bed, and I go, holy crap. Look at the price on this. They had it really marked down. A new 15, they were getting ready for the 16s here at the local dealer. I told my wife, I said, would you look at that? Why does it always happen when I don't have money? She said, fill out a credit application. You never know. So I decided to check my credit score. And it had gone from abysmal to not great, but there's certainly a lot worse in less than a year. So here I sit on my first bike that I own. A freaking adventure bike. As far as I'm concerned, it's the adventure bike. If a Harley had a bike that would go off-road, would I have bought it? I don't know. I would have had to ride it. But I do know this much. For a guy who was never interested in Harley Davidson, I love them. And I will own one. Because this is the way I look at it. Starting this late, I want to ride everything. So I figured I'll start with my dream bike and do some of the stuff I want to do off-road while I can still do it. And, but not too distant future, I'd like to get a cruiser. A couple years down the road, and it'll be a Harley Davidson. Great bikes, can't say enough about the bike, can't say enough about the people I met, can't say enough about the way I was treated. But for right now, this is it. This is mine. If I scratch it, it's mine. If I want to make changes to it, I can do it. It's mine. If I want to get on it on a ridiculously windy day and drive through a bunch of jackass spring break traffic, I can do it. It's mine. Have nothing but good things to say about Harley. Here comes the wave. Oh, yeah, that's right. Got the wave. God, I love that. Man, it's windy. That is a big difference between the Harley and this. The Dyna I was on was 714, 15 pounds. This is like 430 maybe wet, something like that. So you notice it in the wind, and it's higher off the ground. The damn thing acts like a sail, and I don't care. I love it. The next thing I hope to get is, what else did I do? Shifter. I changed the brake. I moved the bars up. Well, I changed the brake lever higher. I think that's it. Next thing is crash bars. Love the MGO trunk. I don't plan on going to Patagonia with it. I plan on going back and forth to work with it, and it's been excellent at that. $64 stinking dollars. I had to drill a couple holes. I don't care. It's a KLR. It's just what I thought it would be. It's amazing. I'm not going to win any races on this KLR. That's another thing. Everybody waves. Harley guys wave. Everybody waves. That's one of the other things I love. Everybody waves. This Cowie Green Kawasaki KLR 650 is damn near the coolest thing I've ever seen. It's by far the most amazing thing I've ever been able to do for myself. Okay, you got a blinker on? Good. And I'll never take it for granted. It's fantastic. Two big differences about the Harley as opposed to this bike. Obviously, the look and everything, but being a novice rider, you know, I'd never ridden anything but Harleys. The Street 750 was probably more similar to this. The power band's completely different. Obviously, this is a single-cylinder thumper. It's obviously the weight, and I love being able to throw this bike around. But on days like today, when the wind's up a little crazy, you do notice it. It's one of the tricks you learn. Relax your hands, relax your arms. The next step is to get a range pass for Eglin Air Force Base so I can get on some dirt. Got to get crash bars though. No crash protection on this puppy. Coming into my neighborhood, and when you come into my house, my neighbor's house is kind of like on the corner, and I can go through his driveway and then into my yard and then into my driveway. So I've done that a couple, 3 times. There's a little hill there. I just did it because I could. What the hell? Give it a shot. See what it's like. So one day I'm coming home and I do the same maneuver, except for this time I think I'm going to go from his driveway into my yard, and I'm going to hook this nice little kind of like U-turn right in front of our front windows and then just glide it to a stop just off the front walk leading to the door, and then I can put my kickstand down. Well, so I go up the driveway, I come across the yard, everything's cool, I start my turn, and that's when I realized that I was actually on a 400 some odd pound motorcycle, even though it felt so much lighter than my Harley, and not a Schwinn. Because I did everything wrong you do in slow speed turns. Most importantly, I leaned. Bike went over, buried the handle, I'm rolling on the ground, I'm laughing my ass off. And I'm thinking, and I'm laughing because I'm embarrassed, but I'm also laughing because it was just such a stupid thing to do. About that time, the front door opens, my wife's there, the kids are all there. They were all watching TV, they heard the motorcycle, they looked, and they saw my genius maneuver. Never dropped the Harley, or any of the Harleys. Didn't do any damage. I got some dirt packed into this right handle, which I left there because I thought it was awesome. Got some dirt in the foot brake, I mean the rear brake foot pedal, but no damage, not even a scratch. It's enough for me to go, you know, before I do any more of this tooling around, even light tooling around off-road, I need some crash protection. Learning how to ride continues. My 1-year anniversary of riding. I got to keep things below 4,000 RPM. I'm still in the break-in period. I don't even have... I've got 377 miles on it. I picked it up with 1 mile. I've only put gas in it other than the day I bought it once. This damn bike. Even now, even this time of year, when everybody drives like it's every man for himself. Oh, that's what I started to say. I've been riding now 1 year. What's changed from when I began? I don't have to actively think as much, but you're not any less aware than when you started. But to me, that's part of the enjoyment of riding is doing the search and assess and try to figure out where potential dangers are and how to position yourself to avoid them best. I enjoy that. It actually relaxes me. Love that so much. Love that so much. Thank you, people, for stopping. Typically, when I drive past a street, when I drive past a car that's waiting to pull out, either from a side street or a stop sign or a parking lot, and they wait for me to go by, I almost always wave to them as long as my hands allow and there isn't something else going on in front of me that requires more immediate attention. Just always to say thank you. I figure, you know, maybe that'll register to them, hey, guy on the bike waved because I waited for him, and maybe that'll make them more aware of other bikers. Maybe not. But hey, if one person starts paying attention when they're riding, when they're driving for bikers, then I'll take that. I'll take one. Pond. There's some big bass in there. I haven't fished it in a couple years. There may be time. Near my neighborhood. And we'll approach the scene of the crime of the big off-road accident. Here it is right here. Oh, somebody needs to cut the lawn. So I came in like this, and I got here, and then I tried to slow that I just was there, and turn. And all I did was, instead of what I'm doing now, acting like a jackass. All I did was stick my leg down like I was some kind of motocrossing on a damn Schwinn. Down went Frazier. All right, I'm going to turn around and put it in the right way. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.